Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorns. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the Cappies in mid-February? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies in mid-February. What's the vibe? What's the energy in the ether for my good friends? There we go. Nice and quick. So this card, and I was just commenting on it because it showed up in the Aquarius reading, okay? And it's been a while since this card has started to show its face. Interestingly enough, your card came out in the Aquarius reading as well, but I haven't seen this card in like weeks or months, and now it's starting to show up in multiple readings. This card seems simple. It seems very simple on its face, but it's very complex. So when I see it, there's like a lot of layers to the energy. So that could be the same with a lot of the situations you're dealing with, where they might be more complex than others might realize. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see this lady, she's looking into a mirror. She's actually holding a mask, and there's multiple reflections, multiple mirrors. So yeah, that could be a little illusionary. There's also a Russian babushka doll there, which is always layer on layer on layer on layer. There's all these different items. So that does tell me for some of you, you might just be dealing with either complex emotions, where you're feeling a lot of different things at once, or it's complex situations where it's like, all right, it seems simple, but it's really not. Okay, it's like from the outside looking in, it might be simple. Now, if that's not the case, for a lot of you, just know that you could be very sensitive to energy and different types of stimulus in this time. Like when I see this card, I think of a lot of energies, a lot of things affecting you. So whether you're very busy or this is a lot of people, it just feels intense. That's what I always say about this card. So we're just going to leave it at that. We're going to put it down right there. I mean, if you're connected to an Aquarius, we're going to see if the readings come out similar, but she could chill right there. Keep looking in the mirror. Let's get into tarot now. And yeah, I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Cappies. What is happening? And while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. There has been a very intense, powerful energy around you guys for the past couple weeks. Last week's reading was titled A Shocking Situation. So something popping up that might catch you or somebody close to you completely off guard. There was tower energy showing up. Now, not every tower is a bad tower. Sometimes it can be good, but just know for the coming weeks, there's a bit of volatility in the vibe. So we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for my Cappies to start us off. What is happening for my good friends in mid-February? There we go. Thank you. Okay. So it seems like a lot of signs are going through some similar things. So we have the 7 of Swords in position number 1. That is most definitely something that we need to keep a very close eye on. And we have another 7. Repeating numbers starting to show up. 7 of Pentacles. These came out together, by the way. Let's get one more, and we'll start piecing this all together. Thank you. And there it is. So we have our visitor from last week showing up for you once again. So there's tons of karmic energy. There's a lot of spiritual energy. And as I mentioned, there's just a lot of intensity, like point blank. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, there's a lot happening, right? I mean, elementally, and I always look at the elements first to see how the energy's flowing. We have air, very, very fast. We have Pentacles, slow, dependable. So it's like go, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop. Then we have the Tower on the back end, very explosive, but it's also water. It does link to Scorpio. So it's like we have air, we have water, we have earth. So there's a mixture of things. It could be different situations. It could be all the same thing. But like these energies on the extreme ends, most definitely going to want to look into that further. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, because I feel like just like with that first card, there's going to be a lot of nuance and complexity in your reading this week. Position number 1, we are starting with the 7 of Pentacles. And notice, yeah, the double 7. So watch out for signs, synchronicities, omens in this time. Spirit could be trying to send you either warning signs or guidance in different types of ways. But the 7 of Swords is unknown. Now, it is generally seen as one of the more challenging cards. We see this little individual wearing the fez. He's making away with all those different swords. It's not always worst case scenario. I just want to say that up front. But it can be a little sneaky, right? It can be a little hidden. It could be someone, there might be somebody you're connected to that you just want to keep a very close eye on. This is not the most trustworthy type of energy. So whether it's a coworker, a friend, whatever, it's like, there's something I'm not quite seeing. Now, the positive aspect, aside from this being sneaky, a little underhanded, it could be thievery and stuff like that. I would have my guard up whenever this card shows up, specifically in position number 1. But the more positive aspect of the 7 of Swords, it could just be something you don't quite see, just something that's out of your view right now. I don't see it, and especially with the Tower in the mix as well, it's like, okay, all right, well, that kind of came in off guard. So there might either be a situation or something that's coming in where it's hard to predict it, if that makes sense. So we'll touch on that. That, of course, can be a warning. I do want to say that. But moving to the center, we have a totally different vibe. We have the 7 of Pentacles. Now, we see this individual, they're sitting next to that pentacle bush, waiting on those to grow. For some of you, you might just be in a holding pattern, like, hey, I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to observe this. This is very observant type of energy, too. So it makes sense with all this stuff going on around. You might be a little on edge, or it's like, I can't stop watching this, or I can't take my eye off something. That's an initial vibe I'm getting. I'm going to try not to get too intuitive just yet. This is somebody in a holding pattern. Now, it is a card of patience. I often say the positive aspects of this card, it's getting a big payoff, or your patience being worth it, or going through a process and saying, okay, I didn't know how that was going to unfold, but I'm happy I went through it. That's a big energy with this card. It can also be impatience. It could be somebody getting tired of something. It could be like, yeah, I'm tired of waiting around. I need to do something. That's a big vibe here. But also, it is one of the biggest karmic cards. Reaping what you sow. What you put forth, you get back in return. So when we have this card of reaping what you sow next to another powerful karmic card, and the 7 of Swords right next to it, it's like, okay, if someone is a little out of tune, or if someone's acting in a funky way, they're going to wish they hadn't. So it's like I have this weird dichotomy of energy where it's like, all right, well, you might be happy you did, but someone might be wishing that they hadn't done something. That's like an energy I'm picking up here. Now, on the back end, and yeah, there are most definitely a couple of warnings in your readings this week. We do have the Tower. Okay, my link to Scorpio. So if you have Scorpio placements, no need to worry. If you're connected to Scorpio, no need to worry. And as you saw last week, this is a card of shock. Now, the imagery is scary, and I always say not every tower is a bad tower. Some things are shocking, and they surprise us in a good way. I often say this card shows up when we might be going through certain endings, certain changes. It's like, all right, let's hit the reset button on something. Let's try this again, or build it from the ground up. It's like, all right, we need to tear that shed down to build a new one, if that makes sense. That's definitely Tower energy encapsulated. Now, it doesn't always mean like permanent endings. Sometimes it's just like, all right, we need to approach this from a different angle. But it is shocking, it's explosive, it's volatile, all those descriptive words. So it's like we do have some things that seem a little concerning on the surface, but I must say there's just so much intensity in the energy this week, and even last week, and even the week before it. So I hope you're going through things okay. But let's go. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. Let's see what we have for the Cappies. Maybe it'll be a pleasant surprise, right? Maybe I'm overthinking this. But yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that 7 of Swords. Let's see what that's about. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cappy, could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Seven of Swords here? Please. Thank you. Oof, Lady Justice in the upright. I don't know why so many, I mean, I don't want to say it's concerning, but I will say this. There are so many signs this week that are getting these karmic archetypes. Okay, these are big energies, my friends, and I've seen it spread across the whole entire zodiac this week. There's been at least 4 signs, not including yourself, that have had multiple karmic cards like this. Now, Lady Justice balances the scales of things. Right? So whenever we see her, especially under a card like the Seven of Swords, I mean, maybe the universe is acting in a way where you don't quite understand it. Like, why did this happen? Or why is this so difficult? Or why is this going on? Sometimes we don't have all the answers, right? Sometimes bad things happen to good people. Good things happen to bad people. And we don't quite conceptualize why. And when I see this alignment, it is most definitely Spirit saying, like, I got this. I will make this right. I will balance this. So when I see the Seven of Swords and Lady Justice, it's somebody catching a dose of karma. Karma getting served up to somebody at some point. So if you have recently been affected by somebody that is just not moving right, the universe has taken notes. That's how it feels. That's just what I'm picking up here in the front. Now, for a portion of you, if you are connected to a Libra, this could be them showing up here. Lady Justice could also represent legal situations. So I will say for some of you, be very cautious about anything you're putting your signature on. Watch out for like tax norms, tax preparation, anything with legalities you need to be extra careful with in this time when I see the Seven of Swords and Lady Justice. Okay, let's keep moving again with that strong karmic energy. And for a portion of you, there might be somebody that you need to definitely keep a very close eye on. Okay, so we're just going to leave her right there for now. Let's see what the Seven of Pentacles has. Let's see what that is showing us here. I mean, it's just very intense all around. But let's go. Why is that Seven of Pentacles here? Why is that Seven of Pentacles here from the Cappies? Thank you. 4 Wands in reverse, the 11-11 card. Please just watch out for the strong signs and omens from the universe. I know Capricorns are generally a very pragmatic sign. Also, it could be very spiritually inclined people. But out of all the zodiac signs, you guys do lean towards logic, pragmatism, seeing things for what they are. When I'm seeing all these karmic energies, when I'm seeing the repeating sevens, now the 11-11 card in reverse, this is most definitely Spirit saying, like, listen, we're giving you a heads up here. We're giving you a little heads up here about something, Capricorn. So please pay attention to the signs, whether they be repeating numbers, whether they be dreams. It's like we're giving you a heads up. So just keep your eyes open for the powerful omens. Okay, whether you've been receiving them or whether you're going to be receiving them, it could be heightened in this time. But the 4 of Wands is usually grounded, just like this card, not moving, very celebratory. When we see it in reverse, it's very tower-like, it's upheaval. So for some of you, this could just be a change that comes out of nowhere, a change in a situation. Could it be dealing with this karmic thing in the front? Possibly, where the universe says, you know what, I'm going to make this right. Or, you know what, you waited long enough for something, let's get this moving. That could be a good thing. I am getting a silver lining about this energy in the front. Because when I see the 7 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands in reverse, it's like, all right, well, you've waited long enough for this. Or you've waited long enough in a stagnant energy, time to flip it. Okay, so it's not so predictable. So again, for some of you, it could be a surprising or unexpected change in a situation. Okay, for good or bad. I guess it depends on your certain problem situations that you're going through right now. But let's see what's up with the Tower. Let's see what's up with that. Even the energy is like scrambling me a little bit just reading it. So it just feels super, super intense. Super intense. But why is the Tower here for you? What's going on with that? And we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. Okay, 2 of Wands in reverse, unplanned type of energy. Yeah, so this is like all over the place. And this fits in just with the reading we had last week, where I said there was like a shocking situation. When we see the 2 of Wands in reverse, it's something that you don't plan for. It's like, all right, if you don't make the choice, the universe is going to choose for you. And I know we've been speaking about karmic energies, but I feel like the universe is really putting something into motion for you, where it's like, okay, well, you could drag your feet on it if you want, but the universe is going to set this in motion one way or another. whatever this is, that's up to you and what you're going through. Now, the Two of Wands in reverse can sometimes be indecisive, or somebody who's not planning for something. So underneath the Tower, it's like, all right, well, just ready or not, here it comes. It's giving me that energy. Now, that can be good for some of you. Like I said, if there's something you've been holding out on or waiting on, or a process you've been going through that's been going a little slow, this energy might be very beneficial for you. But for others, it's just so unpredictable. And knowing what I know about Capricorn energy, it's making me feel a little uncomfortable this week. So I would say be cautious, lay low. There's too much Tower energy around the Capricorns this week, that's for sure. And especially with the Two of Wands in reverse, it's just unplanned. So there could be various things that you weren't accounting for or planning for popping up. So just keep that in mind. And remember, this isn't a definite for a lot of you. I mean, your other placements could kick in. But I will say I've been seeing this karmic energy across so much of the zodiac that I think there's some big things coming up. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. Very intense reading for you this week. If you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Seven of Swords with Lady Justice in the upright. So again, karma getting served up to somebody. And even if you don't see it, even if you don't understand it, sometimes we can't understand the movings and the ways of the universe. Sometimes there's certain things that are out of our hands. And this kind of is a reinforcement from Spirit saying, like, listen, we're taking notes. Someone's going to get what they got coming. But for another portion of you, I would say just be very careful with any legalities, any contracts, any tax paperwork, anything you're putting your signature on, just be very careful about it, okay? Moving to the center, we have the Seven of Pentacles with the 1111 card in reverse. I did say this could be a surprising, unexpected change of some sort, and we see it all over the place. It's all over this reading, so it's not the first and only time we're picking it up. Most definitely watch out for the signs, synchronicities, and omens, because those could be heightened in this time. Real big ones. On the back end, we have the Tower with the Two of Wands in reverse, and that really harkens back to the reading last week, where there could be various situations that just pop up out of nowhere, where it's like, I didn't plan for it. Just know there could also be something where the universe is setting it into motion. Well, it's like, whether you're ready, whether you're not, the universe is setting something into motion, right? So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. So what do we got going on for my Cappies, please? Guides and Spirit team. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card going. What do we got for the Cappies, please? What is happening? Thank you. Page of Swords. So keeping an eye on something. So there should be a situation or something or someone that you should at least keep in your awareness when I see the Page of Swords. Either that or someone's got their eyes on you. It's one or the other. Could even be both for some of you. Now, the Page of Swords, pardon me, does connect to air sign energy. So Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, could be any of those. But if that's not the case, this is the Watcher of the Tarot deck. And with all the energy we were seeing within the reading here, I mean, it could be Spirit just saying, be on your toes. Keep a very close eye on something or someone in this time when this card is here. Either that or someone's doing that towards you. That's like the big vibe I'm picking up. I don't feel like the other themes are really shining through with this Page of Swords. Very simple, very straightforward. So Capricorn, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out the availability and my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could get a little forecast for the next few weeks for you. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could snap your fingers right now and wish for something, what would it be? It could be anything except more wishes. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.